y'all? This your boy Casey Phil King, Self Life Wrestling Takes. I'm back. I told you, back-to-back reviews. Listen, AEW, boy, man, I am so thankful that we got an alternative to WWE programming. Listen. I'm excited what's taking place. I still got issues with the show, but man, AEW, they getting everybody they want them to come through, man. And the word going around that both Punk and Daniel Bryan may already be locked in, boy. Listen, when the stuff happened, that's when I'll be like, okay, because I just want to see them show up. Because see, this is what I be hating when people be spreading rumors and all that. Like, don't tell me nothing. I want to see the fools show up. When the fools show up, then I'll be like, okay, we good to go. This was an outstanding Dynamite. I have some issues with certain things that took place on this show, but for the most part, man, they killed it. And congratulations to them for doing 1.15 million views. Listen, keep it up, fellas. Keep it up, ladies, because there's a whole lot of people that work on the set. Keep it up. Keep it up. Y'all want to reach that 2 million mark, don't you? That's the name of the game. Get to that 2 million, and then potentially, as we move on through the years, we get to that 3 million. You're on WWE's tail. You're right there. I told you, when they do well, wrestling wins. We all win, man. NXT got to get there too, because they barely doing 700,000. I know it's unfortunate because I know a lot of people understand, like, when you bury the talent, cat's not going to be interested in watching the product, you know. But anyway, this is about Dynamite. We kicked the show off. Now, Jericho has been positioned. If he wants a shot at MJF one last time, he must go against every labor nemesis that MJF has established. So his first nemesis was his very own Pinnacle member, Shawn Spears, with Tully Blanchard in his corner. A single man chair match, which what I mean is Jericho can't use the chair, but Shawn Spears can use the chair. It's basically a no DQ for Shawn, but if Chris Jericho used one, he would have lost the match. Now MJF, his old goofy behind, came out there. He's on commentary. He getting into it with Tony Schiavone. He getting into it with Excalibur and JR. And he's basically just calling Jericho a buffoon, and he running his mouth and sounding like a clown. Meanwhile, you got the fools in the ring, Jericho, Shawn Spears. Shawn Spears beating the brakes off of Jericho with the chair. Jericho really can't do nothing. Tully Blanchard trying to get involved. I mean, just all kind of crazy stuff. And then it's funny. Every time Jericho would hit Shawn Spears, MJF would say, hey, that's a cheap shot. I'm like, this fool, he need to just quit. Listen, MJF, man, he doing his role. But he know he crazy as the best. He just out of his mind, insane. So, to make a long story short, how did Jericho get the victory? Because you knew he was gonna have to win. Remember, Jericho can't use the chair, but anybody else can. So this is what took place. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. Long day at work. Uh, Tully was getting involved. Tully was trying to get his hands in there, trying to do a little something. Samuel Robert came out, and he basically got Tully Blanchard out. Now, it's funny. Not Tully Blanchard. Samuel Robert basically showed Tully Blanchard respect because he looked at him as an elder. He like, look, you know what? This old man crazy as heck. I'm not gonna lay a hand on him. He can hit me, but I'm not gonna touch him. But he got a heck up out of there. So MJF is getting ticked off on commentary. He's like, what is this? Jericho shouldn't be having nobody coming out here. Sammy Guerrero, you get your butt out here and just yapping, sounding crazy. Well, Jericho used that to his advantage. Basically got Shawn Spears into the walls of Jericho, and Mr. Shawn Spears ended up tapping. And the crowd was going completely crazy. I believe it was a tap. Let's see. So make sure let's see. Oh no, I'm wrong. He got him with the Judas effect and 1, 2, 3. So it was a pin. I'm tripping. He did have him on the walls of Jericho though. So everybody celebrate Jericho going crazy. MJF gets off the doggone commentary set. He get on the mic and he says, all right, well, let's check this out. He said, next week, We're going to have a no DQ match. Now, none of your goons could get involved with the person who I got select for you. He said, the guy that you get ready to go against is dang near murderer. This guy's a savage. This guy's insane. Now, I'm not too familiar with this Nick Gage guy. I remember they had a Dark Side of the Ring with this dude. Apparently, he recently wrestled John Moxley at one of those independent shows. They be having these hardcore matches. Like I said, a lot of these cats, I'm like, I don't know. MJF called the dude out. He said, your second labor match for you is a no DQ match against Nick Gage. The crowd went completely ape crazy. They went nuts. Nick Gage came out there. Chris Jericho was looking at this man like, oh, okay. So you want me to go against this clown? All right. Well, speaking of clowns, I'm going to talk about Jericho a little bit later because he ends up responding to this situation as we move on. So we get to a little mini break, but it's a promo for Miro. And he pretty much says, I done manhandled dang near everybody in AEW. He said, there's nobody on my level right now. I'm God's favorite champion. You see, I told you, Miro's new gimmick, it reminds me of a zealous person who is somebody who is straight up evil, yet is super religious, if you get my drift. Somebody who is somebody that is supposed to be going in for the kingdom, yet they on religion mode, if you get my drift. Now, I could talk about that something totally different, what I just said, but that's basically what Miro's character is. If y'all ever played the game Far Cry 3, I never played the game. It's Far Cry 3 or Far Cry 4. It's one or two, where the guys who you was going with was a bunch of fools who was basically down with the New World Order, yet they was claiming to be Christians. And they was the evil folk. That's pretty much what Miro's gimmick is. He calls himself God's favorite champion. That's what he's going with. Listen, that belt is perfect. Miro is in his own. Dumping Kip Sabian was the best thing for Miro, period. I'm telling you, man. It was the best thing. That so-called best man stuff. What he's doing right now, I'm loving it. Excellent. We get to the second match. We got, used to be known as Luke Gallows, but now it's Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Elite Hunter. No, with Carl Anderson versus Elite Hunter Frankie Kazarian. This was a okay match. I personally feel like Frankie Kazarian carried the whole match, but he ended up losing because they basically distracted him, cheating. You know the name of the game. They got to cheat. They got to do all that dumb stuff. Doc Gallows gets the victory. So then the Good Brothers, they start beating the brakes off them. Omega comes out, Callis comes out. They start talking all kind of nonsense, and then they started talking about how the the Cowboys are weak and they're trash, and all of this, and that Hangman Page has absolutely no uh, business being in a match with Kenny and all this crazy stuff. So they beating the brakes off of Kazarian and everything. Well, who comes out? Hangman comes out by himself. The crowd goes completely ape. They start yelling or start saying cowboy poop. And he gets in the ring. He got the little beer and all this stuff. And they look at each other like they finna do something. Kenny Omega start talking all kind of nonsense. I'm telling y'all, man, Kenny Omega, Kenny Omega for me has been a complete clown. I haven't really taken him serious, not once. I told you, everybody's in the elite outside of Hangman is the only one that I'm actually a fan of as of right now. Everybody else is just a joke right now. The Young Bucks are a joke. Kenny Omega is a joke. Don Callis is a joke. They all a joke, but they're doing their role. Their role is they're the chicken poop heel. They run around, they doing all this dumb stuff, they evil, all this crazy stuff. But they're coming across to me as clowns. That's just how it is for me. So Heyman in the ring with them. It's 1-on-4. Next thing you know, here come the Dark Order. The Dark Order, they come out. They come out to try to beat the brakes off of them. Kenny and them, they get out the ring, and then they standing in the ring, and everybody going crazy. So that's how that situation transpired. We're going to be getting it, I believe, unless Daniel Bryan show up. We're going to be getting Hangman Excuse me, y'all. We're gonna be getting Hangman versus Kenny Omega at All Out. So that's it. So we got a backstage clip. Brian Cage is talking about himself losing the FTW title to Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks had a little video said that next week when they go to Charlotte, they're gonna have a celebration for him winning the FTW Championship. And then Brian Cage basically says, well, I love celebrations. In other words, he's going to basically sabotage that whole celebration regardless what happened. I'm liking this feud. I knew Team Taz gonna have to break up some kind of way because Brian Cage, I feel like he can go by himself. I was a huge fan of Brian Cage and Lucha Underground, so and I know he can go. I know he can do his own thing, you know. So we'll see how things move forward with their little feud. So now we got the young man that went against Sammy Guevara last week. His name is Wheeler Yuta with Orange Cassidy versus Darby Allin with Sting. Now, the whole thing that made this match was the stupid stuff that transpired outside. Darby Allin basically got another victory over this young man because basically this is like a test to see how well this young man does. He's lost 2 back-to-back matches. They basically trying to see, okay, how well does this young man do in front of the crowd? And he does okay for what he does. You know what you're gonna get from Darby. Now Darby is beat up from the coffin match. You see he had his ribs taped up and everything. But what made this match was the stupid stuff that happened outside the ring. Now, we got Orange Cassidy and we got Sting, right? They finally have their confrontation. Now, you see them in the ring going at it, but they stop and they look at Darby and Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy and Darby basically are looking at each other. And they basically do the little goofy stuff that Orange Cassidy does where he looks like he finna do a fake Sweet Chin Music. Man, this dude had Sting clowning with him. Man, look at these clowns. They just clowning. I said they got Sting acting a complete fool. The Orange Cassidy clown. I said, look at this nonsense. But look, hey, they having fun. I know Orange Cassidy loved it. I think about it. You get an opportunity to act the fool with the one they call the True Scorpion, the legend himself, Steve Burroughs, aka Sting. I think I said his real name right. Believe that. Might be off. But this segment was goofy as heck. I said, man, look at these clowns. Look at them. Orange Cassidy, Sting, they out here acting a complete fool. The audience, they went completely crazy. They like, yeah. They were tripping about the whole situation. But at the end, Darby ended up doing the coffin drop. He get the victory. So that's that, a little decent match. Like I said, these matches are basically designed to get this young man over as how well does he adapt in the ring. He's wrestling everybody. He's wrestling. Like I said, he got an opportunity to wrestle his homeboy, Sammy Guevara, last week. Now he get an opportunity to be in the ring with Darby Allin. With Orange Cassidy and Sting outside acting a complete fool. I mean, you got to be feeling good about yourself if you're Wheeler Yuta. You know what I'm saying? So, backstage, right? Oh, actually, no. This happened right after the match is done. So, Orange Cassidy wasn't even really paying attention. The blade comes out the woodwork and knocks him out with the golden brass knuckle. So obviously these two are going to have a match later on. So it was basically like a cheap shot. And Sting tried to help. He tried to get the young man up. He tried to get Blade, but Blade was already gone. So we got a video package of both John Moxley and Lance Archer with their match for the IWGP Championship from New Japan. Now, word on the street, this is what they were saying. Since Lance Archer was not a New Japan wrestler, you must be signed to New Japan in order to carry that championship. But for me, I was thinking Lance Archer was going to win regardless if he was signed or not. I'm going to talk about that main event later on because that main event was out of this world great. So in the audience, we got Hiku Leo. Now, this young man is the son of one of the Aku brothers, which is also my man Tonga Tama, or whatever his name. But he's a part of the Bullet Club. Young man was chilling in the audience just randomly. I told y'all, man, this whole forbidden door, whatever we going with this, still don't know where we going with this. But it's just to keep everybody on pins and needles. Like, it's the anticipation. Like, what is this dude doing here? He should be in Japan. Why is he here? It's all about the speculation. Now, let's get to one of the downers of the show. Nyla Rose with Vicky Guerrero versus Britt Baker and a Hobble Rebel, aka Reaper. How was this match? Let me be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be as honest as I can possibly be. The ladies, they tried. They really did. It was some things in here that I did like. Now let me tell y'all something. Both of these cats are good at what they do. Nyla brings so much to the table, and you already know about Dr. Britt Baker. I was not on Britt Baker's bandwagon at all, but this woman has just been improving every time she gets in the ring. But for some strange reason, these two, they just, I don't know. They was acting the fool, and they was trying things and just looked extra sloppy, and I was like, oh no. But the part that I liked in this match, Britt Baker tried to do an Eddie Guerrero number with Vicky sitting right outside, but it ended up backfiring. She tried. Okay, what happened was she took the title. She was gonna try to basically make it look like she got knocked out by Nyla Rose. But what happened was when she threw it to Nyla, Nyla threw it right back to her, and the referee called her. And he was like, "Yo, what you doing with that title?" Because she fell out, right? So she tried to make it out as if she she was laid out, but then Nyla Rose was like, nope. So Nyla Rose threw the title right on her. And so the referee saw her like, wait, what you doing? It was like they tried it. She tried her best to try to do like Eddie Guerrero back in the day when he be lying and cheating and stealing and winning matches, but it didn't work. However, Nyla Rose was doing all these body slams and power slams and all this crazy stuff. You would have thought the match was over. But what Britt Baker decided to do, Britt Baker got the little moves on that she needs to do, and then she did the little lock jaw, whatever that is, where she put her fingers in your mouth and all this crazy stuff. Nyla Rose tapped. That's it. Nyla Rose needs to be moving on to something else. It's time to start building up a baby face that's going to go after Britt Baker. Now, we just got the news. Congratulations and also happy birthday to the one and only Thunder Rosa. Her contract was bought out and she is now full-time wrestler on All Elite Wrestling. That's the woman that is going to be the one to take the title off of Britt. But I don't want her going against Britt right now. We need to build up somebody else in the meantime to go after Britt and face Britt at All Out. Britt Baker's not losing that title right now because she just got it. She's just becoming the AEW Women's Champion. Dr. DMD, she just got it. We're going to hold off Thunder Rosa. I know a lot of people want to see Thunder Rosa and her All Out. Not right now. Not right now. But I'd say this was an excellent signing by Tony Khan because the women's division needs to continue to get up. And I think having her there, think about it, you got another coach. Because to me, she's a coach. She's a coach. When people be wrestling with her, it's like you're learning with her. She's a teacher, just like with Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb's a teacher as well. You got two great teachers that's going to be back there helping the women wrestle. So with her signing, that is an outstanding signing for the women's division. AEW women's division is on the horizon. I got to give Tony props. Like I said, this match, it was a sloppy match. This is one of the downers on the show. However, Britt retained, which was the right decision. She ain't losing that title no time soon. And we just got Thunder Rosa. Congratulations to her. Plus today is her birthday, so happy birthday, Thunder Rosa. If you end up watching this video, which I highly doubt. But it's funny how this match, even though this was two heels, Britt Baker was getting babyface vibes. I'm telling you, that's why I'm like, man, I hate, like, here's the deal. I get sometimes we get heels and baby faces where it's heels versus heels and baby. But sometimes, man, it's very difficult, especially when you got two top heels and one of them is over like a mug. They gonna get cheered like a baby face. It's crazy. That's the same stuff going on with Hit Row and Ladeo Lil Fantasma. Both groups are heel groups, but Hit Row's getting cheered like baby faces now. They just come across as baby faces. And with this situation, Dr. DMD was coming across like a babyface. So I don't know how they're going to move on with that. Britt Baker's still a heel. She's still the AEW Women's Champion. And she's going to be the AEW's champion for as long as she want to hold on to it. So that's that. So she still won. Now, this part for me, this this was the best part for me. This segment was great. Santana Ortiz, FTR, they got a match for next week, and they basically had a little press conference. When you don't script promos and you basically give cats bulletin points, and you let cats go out there and beat them, this segment was just as real as you can get. So let's see. Dak started talking. He talked about how much he loved God, he loved pro wrestling, and all this nonsense or whatever, you know. And he talked about how we grew up in poverty and all this crazy stuff. But Santana, he told him, he said, "You don't know poverty." He said, "My mama was caught up in such and such. We was on Section 8. Then we was on this." And what he did was he showed 3 pictures. And when him showing those pictures, you can feel what he was saying. You can feel it. I was like, dog, I was getting chills. I'm like, yo, I say, this is what I'm talking about. When you let cats be as real and authentic, you can feel what they're saying. You're going to gravitate to what they about to present. You are very interested in the matches they finna do. Now, man, I wish this was for the tag team titles. Because here we go again with an outstanding feud, and we don't have no belts on the line. Meanwhile, we got these goofy young bucks running around holding on to the titles. I care less about the young bucks got them. This is the feud that I wish the AEW tag team titles was going on the line, because this is the feud right here. These are the best 2 tag teams you got in AEW, and what they brought to the table just in that press conference. Oh, and as when they said all that, they started like they ready to tussle and everything, you know, so everybody trying to hold everybody off and everything. It's like you can feel it. You can feel what they saying, man. And I'm like, yo, this is outstanding. Next, we got back-to-back cold segments. Tony Schiavone introduced Andrade El Idolo, right? He comes out. Now he got another different guy that's talking with him, right? And they say, we're here to introduce to you Andrade's new full-time consultant, new executive consultant. Chavo Guerrero is all elite, bro. Listen, I knew Chavo was coming some time down the line. I just didn't know that this was going to be his role. It fit perfectly, man. Chavo got a pop out this world. Bro, let me tell y'all something. Hear me out. Hear me out. AEW is doing great with everybody. Everybody. The last piece that they need to start doing great with is the cats that look like me. Now, I know we did. We got Big Swole. We got Will Hobbs. We got Big Shorty Lee. We got Sonny Kiss. We got Private Party. We got The Acclaim. We got Dante and Darius. We got Captain Sean Dean. We got Ricky Starks. We got Red Velvet. We got Jade. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, I said, now, they do, everybody else comes across and you're excited for everybody else. Then when it comes to the cats that look like you sitting there wondering like, man, when are we going to get that same push? Or when are we going to be able to showcase that we can be good on the mic and we can be good in the ring instead of losing 24/7? Because I don't know about y'all, but I don't watch Dark like that. Now, some of y'all probably look at Dark all the time, and I know y'all say, well, y'all be on Dark. I say, that's great. Bring that over on Dynamite. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited for everybody in this company. And I want to be happy for everybody. And when I say everybody, that includes the cats that look like me too. This is the last thing that AEW is going to have to get right if they want to get to that 2 million, possibly 3 million views on a regular basis. Because I'm just going to tell y'all right now, there is a huge percent of the black demographic that really don't mess with AEW like that. I mean, we watch, trust us. It's a whole bunch of us that do watch AEW, but it's a whole bunch of us that really gravitate more towards WWE. And the only reason why is because you got cats like Big E, Sasha Banks, Bianca, The New Day, Bobby Lashley, Kofi. The list goes on and on, right? You got the cats like that, right? And they gravitate towards because they see us with titles, they see us winning, you know, and they see us a part of storyline, so we're gonna gravitate towards that. Now, for me, I told y'all, WWE is the token place. That's where we go there. We just get the shucking and jiving, and then cats be happy as heck. I'm like, no, ain't about the shucking and jiving. That's what I get. That's my biggest issue about WWE when it comes to the black talent. They be over there shucking and jiving, and everybody think that stuff is great. Then when we do get the WWE Championship, they don't get booked right. Look at how Roman Reigns is being booked compared to Bobby Lashley. I'm telling y'all right now, the WWE Championship is no longer the most prestigious title in WWE right now. It's the Universal title. The WWE Championship is now just like how the World Heavyweight Championship was when Booker T and Mark Henry was able to win it. Notice it was the secondary title. That's how the WWE Championship is looked in Vince McMahon's eyes. That's why we allowed to win that title now. It ain't prestigious as how the Universal Championship is. Because look how Roman Reigns is booked and look how Bobby Lashley is being booked. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Don't tell me I'm tripping. I'm telling you the bold-faced truth. Listen to me. The WWE Championship is the secondary title. That's why Vince books the WWE Championship the way it is. That's why Bobby Lashley always losing 24/7, and then he gets stuck with cats like Goldberg. Meanwhile, you got Roman Reigns getting ready to go against Fruity Pebbles, and everybody in mama's excited. Everybody could care less about Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg. Do you see what I'm saying? Fast forward over here to AEW. This is the last step. If AEW want to get to that 2 million, 3 million, I know we can ready to bring Daniel Bryan and CM Punk on. And I know that's probably an extra, that might get them to 2 million easy. But now you talk about, like I said, our people have been the most neglected in wrestling history. Now, let me tell y'all something. It's a whole lot of y'all that's probably know of the following person who I'm about to talk about because I'm going off subject because I'm gonna finish talking about the show. Her name is Faye Jackson. Now, I really didn't watch her wrestle. She's well known in the IWC. She was a part of a whole lot of independent wrestling shows. Well, apparently, she said on Sunday that if Big E won the Money in the Bank briefcase, she was gonna post news. Well, apparently, I guess she didn't. So my man who used to be with AEW, which Tony Khan missed out on. I don't know why they didn't sign that young man. Suge, aka Pineapple P. Pineapple P could have been a foundation for the cats that look like me as we move forward and start bringing us up into the level like how y'all doing with everybody else. Pineapple Pete was the guy. Pineapple Pete was the guy. I don't care how he looked, he was the guy. Anyway, he was the one that was the prosecutor going against it. So my girl SM Smiley basically had a space and it was the trial was going on. Well, let me name all the big name folk who was on that trial. Now, I'm not a fan of her and her road girl, which is Kiera Hogan. Tasha Steeles was the judge. Big Swole was representing Faye Jackson. You had this dude named AJ Gray. And then when you go and you looked at everybody in the mama who was listening, you had D'Lo Brown, Austin Creed, aka Xavier Woods. You had Big Swole's husband, Cedric, was in the house. You had Sean Rossap. You had so many different other WWE, AEW superstars in there. You had a whole bunch of independent folk, impact folk. I mean, that place was packed for a goofy old clown trial. And get this, it was ran by black folk. It was ran. See, this is what I'm talking about. I told you, our people are huge wrestling fan. All our people want is just a shot. You give us a shot, you allow us to be us. Don't try to change nothing. Don't try to have us buck dancing and shucking and jiving. Just let us be us. Let us be authentic. Let us do us. And I'm telling you, cats are gonna gravitate towards that. Just like we love everybody else, regardless of what they look like. We just want to get that same type of treatment. This trial was the #1 trend last night. Outside of the news about Daniel Bryan and CM Punk and AEW being on TV. This was trending #1. Do you see what I'm talking about? This is one of the biggest issues that I be having with wrestling as a whole. Because it's our audience has been the #1 neglected audience in the whole IWC. I'll be trying to tell people this all the time. Cats don't want to hear me out. We are the most neglected when it comes to all things wrestling. I'm telling you right now. Yet We enjoy this stuff. We be one of the main cats that be tuning in on the regular basis. And like I said, I want this for everybody. I don't just want it for one race. I want it for everybody. You know, and like I said, is this for me? This is the last key piece. If Tony Khan and them want AEW to be on for years and years and want to elevate, that's the last thing they need to get right. Now I know we got Jade, and I know we got Hobbs, and I know we got Ricky Starks, and I know we got Big Swole in them, but we're gonna have to start getting regular. You got the Acclaim. I don't want to see the Acclaim come to Dynamite just to job out to somebody. You understand what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. Look, we got Elevation Dark. Okay, that's great. But now, let us start getting on Dynamite. And I know we can ready to do Rampage. I'm telling y'all, this is one of the major reasons I believe Mark Henry was brought in. Mark Henry was brought in because Tony Khan's like, I know that I really don't push the black talent like I should. I got Mark Henry, who's going to be on commentary for my Rampage show. Mark Henry is going to be mainly working with the black. Now, don't get me wrong. Mark Henry going to work with all of the talent, regardless what race it is. But he's been made. Basically, I feel like he was brought in specifically to get the black talent up there, like how he was a superstar over in WWE land. So that's my little rant about that situation. Because when I watched both of these Hispanic situations that took place back to back, I was like, man, I said, look at that. I said, that could be us too. I said, that could be us. And then I can say that AEW is the most diverse place in wrestling right now. Just look at everybody who's getting shine on TV. Look at it. This is great, man. So anyway, make a long story short, Chavo started talking. Then Pac and the whole Death Triangle came out there with Alex Abrahantes. All of them was out there. Ray Phoenix was back. You got Pentagon Jr., Pac. They talking all kind of reckless stuff. Talk about, hey, Andrade, I hear you talking like you the best wrestler on the planet, right? Well, you ain't got nothing on the Death Triangle. Andrade responded and say, okay, I'll take each and every one of you on right now because y'all fools think y'all all that in the bag of chips. You ain't got nothing on me. Nothing. Man, listen, man, everybody and then both uh, Ray Phoenix and Pentagon Jr., they said something. Alex translated for Pentagon. Man, listen, y'all, this segment was excellent because I can't wait to see the matchups that we have with all of those cats. It's going to be great. It's going to be phenomenal. I don't know what we getting ready to get with this, but I'm excited. I'm excited to the core. And I'm telling y'all, man, cats don't know. Cats don't know, man. Y'all don't understand, man. Y'all don't get it. AEW is where it's at. I'm telling you, it's where it's at. Man, even with what I just said, this is great. I loved every moment. So then we got a little backstage segment, what took place earlier. We're going to be getting a 6-man tag team match. Christian and Jurassic Express versus HFO, which is Matt Hardy's group, because of all the foolishness that took place. I think a heel turn is coming. I think Christian is going to turn on Jurassic Express for next week. That's what I'm going with. Then we got QT Marshall talk about he wants an apology next week. You know, bro, I really want this feud to be over. I really want it to be done with. I want QT and Cody to go their separate ways. I don't need this no more. I'm done with this feud. This feud is terrible. I don't like it. It's over with. Get it done. He wants him to apologize next week. I don't know why. It's pointless. So we get this match. We got the Blade with the Bunny versus Orange Cassidy with Chris Statlander in his corner. Decent match. They tried to cheat, right? Well, the referee didn't see the Blade with the golden what you call it, brass knuckle. Orange Cassidy found a way to get it away from him, and then he picked it up. The referee didn't see him, and he ended up knocking the Blade out with it and put it in his pocket. And that's how he got the victory, and they win their match. Like I said, this little back and forth between them and everything. Listen, y'all, Orange Cassidy is over like a mug. When I first seen this dude, I said, man, who this clown think he is? Laid back. I call him the laid back wrestler. When he want to wrestle, this boy can go. He can go. I'm telling you, Orange Cassidy, one of the best wrestlers in AEW right now. I'm telling you, man. Listen, AEW is all about the small guys. It's not about how it used to be where you had to be this big jack clown all up on steroids and all that. We far from that. It's about the now I don't even like to use this terminology, but cats call people who are small, they call them vanilla midgets. I don't even say that, because to me, that's an offensive terminology. I'm not even finna say that, but that's what these fools that be saying in the IWC. There's a whole bunch of these clowns that be saying that stuff. You ain't gonna catch me saying that, but that's what they be saying. But I believe that's what it's all about now. It ain't about the big broke tusk, big bone. Now listen, you do have to have your big man. Trust me, you have to. But it ain't, we not mainly focusing on AEW. Just don't focus on the big man no more. It's not about the big man no more. That may be how it was years ago, but not no more. So after the match, we got backstage. We got Jericho talking with Alice Marvez. Well, Jericho has his back turned, and the way how he's dressed, he's got his New Japan get up on. Now, when he was in New Japan, he used to dress up like kind of like a Joker type of clown. It's with the black face paint and all of this stuff. But he called himself the Painmaker. And he said, when I face Nick Gage is not going against Chris Jericho. He's going against the Painmaker. Now, I didn't watch New Japan like that, but I guess the Painmaker wasn't no joke. The Painmaker was killing. So it's going to take the Painmaker, I guess, to take Nick Gage out, because Nick Gage be killing folk in the ring, literally. So that's that. So then they revealed. Now I wish they would have saved this match, but apparently August the 4th, we're gonna get Malachi back versus Cody Rhodes. I was thinking that they would save this to All Out, but I guess they want this match to take place on August the 4th. That's great. You know, I personally wish they would have saved it for All Out, but they said no, we want to get this out the way. So kudos to them. We get to the main event. This is a Dexter. I didn't mix Dallas and Texas together. A Texas death match for the IWGP United States Championship. John Moxley is the champ, and he's taking on Lance Archer with Jake Roberts. This was a hardcore kill him, last man standing, beat the bricks off your opponent. I mean, they went everywhere. They went into the audience. It was a dude that was a plant. Lance Archer actually started beating up on him, and then he used him and threw him into John Moxley. I mean, y'all, listen, you got everything with this match, man. I have no complaints with this. The two of these cats, they basically destroyed each other. I mean, look, they bust each other open. John Moxley literally took a fork and started sticking that man in the head with it. I mean, they was clowning. But at the end of the day, your boy Lance Archer got the victory. And I say it's well deserved. Because I've been wondering, like, I'm tired of seeing Lance Archer get into matches and just lose. Like, he get into these big matches and he loses his momentum. I'm like, dude, what's the point of having Lance Archer there? The man's just going to keep losing big matches. Lance Archer got it done, and he is now your IWGP United States champion. Congratulations to that man. So after the match, my man from New Japan, that's a part of the Bullet Club, he got up and looked at Lance Archer and told him, I want a shot at your title. So next week, we're going to get Lance Archer versus the young man from the Bullet Club. Well, remember the Forbidden Door situation. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't know. That means you need to stay tuned. So, at the end of the day, his name is Hikio Leo. That's his name. Outstanding Dynamite. Y'all heard me. Y'all heard me give my whole situation about where AEW needs if they want to reach higher and higher heights, because they're doing a phenomenal job. I'm liking everything. I said the stuff that I didn't like, but for the most part, I enjoyed everything on the show, man. I'm serious. Kudos to them, and shout out to them for doing 1.15 million views. That is great. Keep it up, because it's all about consistency with AEW. I'm telling you, man, I'm excited for moving forward, man. I'm excited. This is what makes me a wrestling head. Dynamite makes me a fan of wrestling. When I turn on WWE, if it ain't for what's going on SmackDown and a little bit of NXT, I really have no desire to tune into anything with WWE. This is no knock against you WWE heads, but I'm just telling y'all right now. When I watch AEW, it takes me back to how I used to be back in the day. When I used to go crazy for this stuff. I couldn't wait for Raw and SmackDown. Now I can miss Raw and SmackDown. That's just how it is. Excellent show. What do y'all think? Hit the comment section up. Tell me how you feel. This is your boy Caseyville King Silver, like Wrestling It Takes. I'm gone.